The message for today is God's masterpiece. I'm going to start with Romans chapter 8, verses 28, and this is the New King James Version. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God and those who are called according to his purpose. When we think of the term masterpiece, we tend to think of different works of art. People come from all over the world to see the Mona Lisa in the Louvre Museum in Paris, or amazing artistic works of Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel in Rome. A masterpiece, or magnum opus in modern use, is a creation that has been given much critical praise, especially one that is considered the greatest work of a person's career, or a work of outstanding creativity, skill, profundity, or workmanship. In all of the beauty of creation, God considers you his greatest masterpiece. He made you in his image, and he filled you with love, purpose, creativity, resilience, and intelligence. In the book of Jeremiah 29:11 it says, "For I know the plans that I have for you. They are plans for good and not disaster, to give you a future and a hope." This is what God is saying. Now, I can hear some of you saying, if God has great plans for me, then why is my life so hard? Why am I going through all this hell? That's a great question. Let's start with what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 5:45. This is going to be the New Literal Translation. It says, "For he gives sunlight to both the evil and the good, and he sends rain on the just and the unjust alike." This means if you live on this planet, you're going to have good and bad days, and no one is exempt from that experience. Life is a series of many chapters, many seasons, and it's not realistic for the sun to always shine every day. I know it's what we want, but it's just not realistic. Let's say you're from the Northwest, where it rains at least 6 months a year. What if on one of those rainy days you made a wish that it would never rain again, and that wish came true? If it came true, the rain suddenly stopped falling, initially you'd be happy. But then, once the fall season shifts to spring, you'd be horrified because of all the trees, plants, and many creatures that have now died due to lack of water in that rainy season. In the late fall, winter, and early spring, if you live in the Northwest, then rain is not only normal, it's needed. We need this season of storms, snow, cloudy days, and rain so we can enjoy the new season that is on the way. Now let's look at Romans 8:28 again. We read that at the beginning. "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God and those who are called according to his purpose." This means if God has chosen you, then he will be able to create a masterpiece out of all the broken pieces of your life. If you've had seasons or are going through seasons of depression, anxiety, heartbreak, sadness, loneliness, loss, financial difficulty, or sickness, God can cause good to come out of all of that darkness. The only reason why we appreciate how the stars shine at night is because they're shining through a backdrop of darkness. The moon has no majesty or authority during the day, but once the night comes, we appreciate the light that it creates. When you're going through hell, it doesn't feel like God is doing anything, but when you come out of the other side, then you begin to see a new perspective on it. I can see someone saying, "So you're telling me, you're saying that God was making a masterpiece out of all of this the whole time? Through all the stuff in my life, through all the difficulties, the good, the bad, the ugly, the confusing, all the stuff, God's been working on a masterpiece through all that?" Yes, he has. God is not making you go through trials, but he knows that you're going to face them. Like inevitably they're going to come. It's just a part of life. He also knows that you're going to be so much stronger, better, and wiser and more mature because of the challenges that you've gone through in your life. I'm going to end this with James chapter 1, 2 through 4, the New Little Translation. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. We never look at suffering as an opportunity for growth, but when we look at it from a different perspective, we can see the benefit of those hard seasons in our lives. And we can see that the hardest seasons is why we are growing, or why we are as strong as we are. Your mind is only as strong as the challenges that you've made it or are dealing with. That stuff builds you, makes you better. I pray that at least one word of this message bless you today. And just know that God loves you, He's with you, and God is making a masterpiece out of all of the seasons and chapters of your life. It doesn't matter how crazy they are, it doesn't matter how difficult it seems, God is making a masterpiece out of it. Keep the faith. God bless. Have a wonderful day.